Weezy out of here.
The dash is digi, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but
What is going on, guys? Flips here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Week 5 match for the UDN, and we are going to be going off against the Copenhagen Canines, coached by Cello Doglow, who is actually one of the league commissioners, so I just want to go ahead and give him a shout out for really helping us out. He helps provide a lot of the graphics for us and just made this whole experience a lot better for everyone. So make sure to go check out the description down below and check his channel out along with all the other coaches in the UDN. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump into his team. So Cello has a team of Huron Black, Florges, Alola Mola, Shaman, Mesprit, Steelix, Mega Medicham, Thunderous Eye, Salazzle, Avalugg, and Persian Alola. So the 6 Pokemon that I decided to bring this week were Mega Mawile, Heatran, Amoonguss, Greninja, Scolipede, and Swallow. So once again, guys, there's not going to be a team builder this week, as there likely won't be another one for the rest of the season, as I've gotten really busy and school's just really hitting me hard right now. But I'll make sure to try and get these matches uploaded on time, so hopefully you guys can see this one on time. But anyways, let's just go ahead and break down my team, since there's going to be no team builder. I'll just give you guys a brief rundown of what's coming. So for my Mega Mawile set, I'm going to be bringing a substitute Swords Dance 2 attacks, as the purpose of this thing is just to really break through his team, as his only switching on his team to this is Steelix, and it really doesn't want to take a +2 knockoff anyways, so that's the purpose of the substitute. I'm able to get off a free Swords Dance no matter what he goes into. And then for my Heatran set, I'm going to be bringing a really offensive Heatran with very little speed and max HP and Sugar Berry, so I can take in Earthquake and be able to set up my rocks for free, as rocks are really important against this team, as Hazard's just completely chipped down his team, and it's super important to break down that defensive core. And for my Amoonguss set, I'm going to be bringing a really specially defensive variant to be able to take hits from Shaman and Alola Mola, as that is by far my best check to both of those. And I'm also going to be running the Spore to put something to sleep in case I get the chance. For my Greninja set, I'm going to be running a dual water stab with priority and water shuriken and hydro pump, along with ice beam and spikes. And the purpose of this set is to just kind of be get up spikes against him, as like I said, Hazard's really just chipped down his team, and spikes just put a lot of those lines of range for my Swallow, as you guys will see later on. So my Scolipede set is a Swords Dance 3 attacks Boogie MZ. The purpose of this thing is just to break down his team and possibly clean in the late game depending on the situation. Then for my last set, my Swallow set is a Choice Specs 3 attacks U-turn set, as this thing just absolutely tears through his team. He has no switches on his team besides a specially defensive Steelix, and even that doesn't really want to take a Heat Wave if I can get the prediction right. So yeah, that's pretty much my team, so let's just go ahead and jump into this match. So looking at lead matchups, I was figuring he's going to try and want to get his hazards up by either leading Steelix or Mesprit to try and get up his rocks. So I thought Greninja would be a really solid lead, as it's pretty decent against both of those. It'd be pretty easy for me to set up my spikes, as they're both forced to switch out. So as you guys can see, he's going to lead the Steelix, so I'm going to do exactly what I said and set up a lane for spikes as he switches out into his Alola Mola. So here I can just go hard into my Amoonguss, as like I said, that's by far my best check, and he's going to click the Scald and do virtually nothing. So right now I'm going to click the Spore, as it's pretty much a free turn for me to put something to sleep, which is really nice, and just as this Mesprit could have been really annoying, as I figured this would probably be a switch in the PNT matchup, that or maybe Mega Medicham, but it's really nice to put this thing to sleep, as this thing's really bulky. It can end up being really annoying later on. So that was really nice to get that thing asleep early. So now we're just going to go into our Heatran at this point, and we are going to go ahead and set up our rocks. As I said, that was super important. And like I said, at this point, I could have gone for the Toxic, but I decided I wanted to try and keep Heatran healthy, at least for a little bit. So I figured I might as well just go into my better check in Amoonguss. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my Amoonguss, as he's going to click the Wish. And at this point, I realized he's probably going to go into his Togekiss or Shaman, so I thought it'd just be a pretty good play to go ahead and double into my Swellow. So the thing is, Swellow just really breaks through his team, and I want to give it as many opportunities as I can. A really specially defensive Togekiss actually can take a couple hits, so at this point I kind of feel like I'm pressured to switch out, as I don't know his set exactly. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my Heatran at this point, as he's going to show Defog. And this is really unfortunate for me, because like I said, hazards are crucial this game. So keeping rocks and spikes on the field are really nice for my team, as it's just able to completely chip down his team. But the good news is I am in my Heatran, so I'll be able to click the Stealth Rocks for free, as he's going to go to his low level 1. Actually, I was going to click the Magma Storm, as I wanted to keep this thing trapped in here and toxic it. But as you guys see, I missed the Magma Storm, which was really unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So this turn I'm going to go ahead and click the Toxic, and I'm also going to miss that. So I pretty much... I'm not in a great situation at this point, as I'm going to take a decent chip of damage from this thing, especially since I'm not leftovers. He's really going to be able to chip me down. As you guys see, he's going to click the Scald, do about 22%, which isn't a huge amount, but it's going to rack up. But this turn I'm able to get the Toxic off, as he's going to bring me down to about 56. So this turn, I need, like I said, I really need to keep up rocks here, so it's really important to set those, as I'm just going to go ahead and click the Flash Cannon here. So it's going to do a ton to him, but Wish is just going to put him back to full. So, Mega Medicham, boy is this thing a problem. So, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and just sack off my Heatran, because at this point, it's done its job, it's gotten rocks up, and if he's able to get him off the field, good for him. You know, I don't really have a switch in for this thing, and this is probably my most useless member at this point in the game, so I'm just going to go ahead and sack it off. So, but this gives me a free Swellow switch, and if you guys remember what I said in the team builder, or like the team preview type thing, he has no switches for this thing. Something's going to take a ton of damage to a Boom Burst. So I'm going to be clicking a Specs Boom Burst, as he's going to go Mesh Spread, and it is going to take a whopping 49%, which is huge. This thing has a massive def stat, and I don't think he realized how much damage this was going to do, so he just went ahead and swapped into his Steelix, and I'm going to click the Boom Burst again and do 55%. Because as you guys can tell, this is not a especially defensive Steelix, like I mentioned was like one of his only switch-ins. So I'm just free to click another Boom Burst here and pretty much just completely wear down his team, as I'm going to do a solid 68% to the Alola Mola and put it in range of my Boom Burst. So Swellow has already done his job and really worn down this team. So it just put me in a phenomenal position and back to a 5-5 match instead of a 6-5 deficit. So now at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and go into my Mega Mawile, because like I said, I don't have good switch-ins for this, and Mega Mawile is probably the best one. I actually forgot to put the Intimidate ability on, which is really unfortunate, as it would have really neutered this thing's attack stat, but it is what it is, so it doesn't really matter, as he's just going to hard swap out here. I'm just going to click the Play Rough, as you can see, he is actually a physically defensive Steelix. So, at this point, I was calcing, and Knockoff is going to KO this Steelix, except if he's a Z-move, which he is, and he's going to, which is really good prep by Solo, as he probably expected me to click the Knockoff there, and just went for the Z-Tick-Ton of range, and I was really surprised on that. Really caught me off guard, but it was a really nice bring by him, and just got him a free kill on my Mawile, so good for him. And I'm just going to go ahead and go to my Scorpede, and at this point, I just get a free Earthquake to just kill this thing and get myself to +1, which is really nice for him. So that's exactly what I'll do. I'll take out this Steelix, as he's going to go into his Mega Medicham, and like I said, I don't have good switch-ins for this, so I'm just going to take the Fake Out and get to +2. So at this point, I am able to click the Z Savage Spin Out, actually crit him, did not matter at all, that was a guaranteed KO, so it's really nice to be able to take out this massive threat with the Z Savage Spin Out and just put me in a really nice spot to win the game. So he's got 3 Pokemon left and I have 4. It's not impossible for him to win, but it's going to be really difficult. So as you guys can see, he's going to go into a Shaman, and I was calculating that I 100% live a Earth Power from this thing, so I was thinking I'm just going to go ahead, try and go for game here and click the Sword Stance. I was kind of confused why he didn't go into the Togekiss, but I could see why, and I just figured, I'm like, let's just try and go for game here and click the Sword Stance. But as you guys can see, I'm going to set up the Sword Stance, and he has the Psychic, which was a great bring by him. Gotta say, he's prepped really good for this game, besides for the swallow, really. I think that was his only mistake, and he was just able to take a KO on the Scolipede and put him back in the game. So we're tied at 3-3 at this point, and I'm just able to go into my moves. So the reason I didn't go into swallow is because I did not 100% guarantee to knock out this thing, and it could do a ton of damage in return that I might need that health later. So I figured going to Amoonguss would be by far my best play, as this thing is not really able to 2-hit KO me, and I'll just be able to set off a Sludge Bomb and do a ton of damage to this thing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. He's going to do about half, which is a good chunk of damage as he's Life Orb offensive, but I'm going to do a ton back to him with the Sludge Bomb, and I'm going to go ahead and switch out to Micro Ninja now, as I'm predicting he's almost forced to click the Psychic here. And at this point, I'm just free to click Ice Beam here on. So he's going to sack off his Mesprit here, as I'm just going to click the Ice Beam twice and claim the KO here. So at this point, I'm in a really good position, as he's going to go into his Togekiss, and I'm just going to go ahead and click the Ice Beam, as I just really need to get damage on this thing, and he's going to get the KO. So, as you guys can see, Togekiss is almost guaranteed dead unless it is max HP, max def, as I'm not running a Modest this week, as Timid was really nice for the speed tiers this week. So, yeah, as long as he is not max HP and max special defense, we are going to win the game here. And as you guys can see, we're going to click the Boom Burst and get the KO. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the game. I want to go ahead and say GG to Cello, and that he prepped really well for this game. He just does not have a ton of answers for Swallow on his team. But one thing that we were talking about after the game is that as I thought that he was just only like max HP Togekiss and that didn't really matter, but it turns out he was actually max HP, max special defense Togekiss. So it was a roll in his favor to actually live that hit, and he could have just stalled me out there and won the game. So we kind of got lucky there, and it also turned out that all of our other Boom Burst were max rolls, so he figured that we were modest and he had just automatically lost the game there. But turns out we got a little lucky this week, and I'll definitely take it, as it's going to move us up to 5-0 and move Cello down to 3-2. But yeah, once again, I just want to go ahead and repeat that make sure to check out his YouTube channel down in the description below, along with all of the other UDN pages. And I will make sure to see you guys next week for week 6.